You can be smart, hardworking, and full of potential, and still not be reliable and taken seriously at work. Why? Why does that happen? Because in most workplaces, people do not judge you mainly by how capable you seem. They judge you by whether if they can rely on you. And that is one of the biggest shifts in professional life. I'll explain more. A lot of people think being taken seriously comes from confidence. So if I'm confident, I will probably then be reliable. Yeah. So if I speak well, if I look polished, having strong opinions, making a good impression. But those things only take you so far. At work, people trust people they do not have to keep chasing. The people who follow through, who do what they say, what they were going to do, who communicates clearly when something changes, who makes work feel steadier, not messier. And that is reliability. And reliability matters because it changes how people experience you. Not just how they describe you, how they feel around your work. Do they relax when you're involved? Or do they start checking, reminding, and wondering? That is often the difference between being seen as promising and being seen as a professional. And I learned that the hard way. So there was a time when I was not reliable in the way I should have been. I made a mistake. And that mistake took me down a path. And what stayed with me was not just the mistake itself, it was what it changed. I could feel that people saw me differently. After that, I was down. I was probably not very confident at all. And it wasn't dramatic. It wasn't a big speech. It wasn't a public fallout or anything. Just a very subtle shift. So a bit less confidence, a bit more caution, a bit more watching everything, and keeping my eye on everything I was doing. And that was such an important lesson because it made me realize something that I think it is a big foundation stone. At work, people do not only remember what you meant to do, they remember whether they could depend on you. So that is why reliability matters so much. It is not boring, it is not small, it is not just being organized. It is one of the clear signals of professional maturity. It tells people you take responsibility seriously. And yes, everybody makes mistakes, don't get me wrong. That mistake I made, honestly, I made a big mistake. And that mistake took the director to look into everything I had done because it would have had a major impact. But it tells people that you take responsibility seriously, you respect other people's time, you understand that your work affects more than just you, and that's very important. It impacts other people and work itself and customers. It could be that also. And once people start seeing that in you, your reputation changes. So you get trusted with more, they'll give you more tasks. You're included in more projects or tasks. Your contribution then starts to carry more weight. And not because you demanded respect, not because you became dependable. And this is especially important early in your career. Because early on, people do not know your long-term potential yet. So because they don't know your long-term potential, they know your patterns. Do you follow through? Do you prepare? Do you close the loop? Do you let people know early when something is at risk? And that's an important one. You have to measure risk at work. Will this have impact on other departments, in other people, and at the end, the customer? Those small things build your reputation far faster than most people realize. That is why some people are taken seriously quite quickly. Not because they are louder, not because they are more naturally impressive, but because they are steady. They are not dropping the ball every 5 minutes. Yes, because in real work, people notice very quickly who creates confidence and who creates uncertainty. And reliable people reduce uncertainty. And that is a huge professional strength. If someone gives you a task, do they feel calmer because you have it? You've received that task? Does that person feel comfortable, calm because you've got it? That is a serious question you have to ask yourself. Because one of the real markers of professional growth is this: people can build around you. And ask yourself, can people build around me? They can plan with you in mind. They can trust your word. They do not have to mentally keep you on a separate list of things and monitor it. I need to monitor this person. I need to chase this person. That is when you start being taken seriously. Now, reliability does not mean perfection. And I need to stress this one out. It does not mean perfection. It does not mean that you never make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. It does not mean saying yes to everything. And it does not mean becoming the person who overfunctions while everybody else underprepares. Oh no, it's not that. It means that when you're committing to this task or to do something, your commitment means something. It means outcome. It means results. It means that you're going to deliver what you said you were going to do. That is a very different standard. And one of the biggest reliability mistakes people make, especially when they are newer at work, is going quiet, going silent, going sideways when something starts slipping. They delay the awkward message. They hope they can recover privately. They tell themselves they will sort it out before anyone notices. No. You want to be straightforward, and you want to do the task and say it. Say what's happening, especially when you're delayed. But often that makes things worse if you don't go straight. It is also the silence, and silence creates doubt. So if you become silent, that's not going to be a good signal. One of the most reliable things you can do at work is actually very simple. Let people know early. Not dramatically, unless it's very urgent, obviously. Not defensively. Don't be defensive about it. And just clearly. Here's where this stands. And here's the issue. And here's what I'm doing about it. And here's what might be needed. Those are the things you want to transmit. Those are the things you want to communicate. That kind of communication builds trust. Why? Well, that would be very simple, isn't it? Because reliability is not perfection. It is responsible visibility. People know where things stand. They know you are paying attention. They are talking to you, you are talking back, and you have a dialogue. They know you are leaving them to discover problems at the last minute. So you're not leaving them with problems. And that matters a lot. And if this is useful already, then subscribe. Like the video, please. And tell me in the comments what makes someone feel reliable to you at work. Leave it in the comments, please. I'd love to read it. Because most people underestimate how much their professional reputation is shaped by these quiet patterns. In my own experience, Once I became more reliable, and I would say I am very reliable. The results were not dramatic at first, but they were real. People trusted me more. I was given more responsibility. There was less friction around my work. I had more credibility, and that feels great. But obviously you have to work towards it. It will not just come. And not because I suddenly became more impressive. It was just because I became more dependable. And dependable people are easier to trust. And that is the shift. And that I made that shift. If you want to take it seriously at work, stop focusing only on how to look more confident. Start asking yourself, can people rely on me? 2, do I communicate clearly? 3, do I follow through? 4, do I make work easier to build around? Because confidence can shape first impressions, and you want to shape that first impression. And reliability shapes reputation too, and you want to shape that. And reputation is what follows you into bigger opportunities. So clarity is the beginning, and practice is what makes and creates opportunities. If you want to become a professional self-leader and you want to work with me in the mentorship, you will find the link below.